Meantime, we turn to this tonight. People in Western North Carolina are asking, where's the money? As a new Helene relief funding package is stalling in Raleigh.
And discussions in the Senate, they are screeching to a halt, you might say. Lawmakers agree that more funding is needed, but they cannot agree on how to get this done and where this funding should actually come from.
WCNC Charlotte's Julie Kay is joining us now to talk about this. So, Julie, how much is on the table right now?
Yeah, the House already passed a $464 million relief bill. It's not as much as Governor Stein requested, but it would bring the General Assembly's total to $1.8 billion so far. This next round, though, is stuck in the Senate. Senate Democrats say a standalone bill like this will get relief to Western North Carolina quicker. Republicans argue the aid should be folded into the state budget, but budget talks could have months ahead of them, causing concern about timing in our mountain communities.
Almost 9 months since Hurricane Helene, lawmakers agree recovery is the top priority. But after months of budget negotiations, a standstill.
We cannot wait 6 months or however long it's going to take for the House and the Senate to come together on their budget plan.
David Jackson leads the Boone Area Chamber of Commerce. He says the funding delay is putting pressure on businesses. A similar story at the Avery County Chamber, where Robin Morgan says they need funding and fast.
A lot of them still are paying off COVID loans. They don't need to take on another loan. They need grants.
GOP leaders do agree more aid is needed. The Senate's initial budget includes $700 million in Helene recovery funding. But the House took a different approach with this separate aid bill and no specific hurricane money in its budget proposal. Representative Laura Budd tells me she's not confident they'll come to a compromise before going on break.
People need to fix their homes. They need to jumpstart their businesses. They need to pay their bills.
So we're having conversations with
Senate President Pro Tem Phil Berger's team sending me a statement saying in part, quote, Senate budget writers are working on identifying budget measures that need to be accomplished before we adjourn for the summer, and that includes hurricane relief items. We anticipate taking up additional hurricane relief before we adjourn. With less than 2 weeks out from the July 1st budget deadline, Senate Democrats worry Helene funding will get held up with the budget. They're now pushing for a vote on this aid package. Bottom line, the next wave of recovery is coming. The debate is about how and how fast.
The Avery County Chamber Director also told me what they really need is tourists and encourages people to come visit. Back to you, Colin, Vanessa.
Yeah, I mean, we keep hearing that time and time again. We have folks from the high country joining us on Live Impact News streaming WCNC Plus, and that's what they're saying too. Not only do they need the help, but they need the visitor help too, the folks to visit.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Julie.